just lucky to be alive right now after the walk-in we just had.
Yeah,
I really wish I had that on camera.
For those of you that obviously don't know, I just took about a 12-foot spill down a shale hillside, and these guys just laughed at me. However, I will say,
the walking stick held up.
The walking stick held up.
For now.
Solid maple.
All right, Gandalf, let's keep walking.
What are you thinking, Jesse?
Definitely better than what we've seen so far today. This is definitely the most open spot we've seen. There's no doubt about that.
What's your thoughts on this patch of woods running beside a cornfield?
Obviously, fantastic, great food source. And with it being next to the highway like this, people think that scares everything away because all the noise. It's not at all the case. I'm not sure. I think somebody might have had a permanent stand here at some point too.
Yeah, it looks like it's been here for a while.
Yeah, it's been here. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, right over there.
See a lot of these trees in here though. I don't know. It'd be a little sketchy getting up into something like that. Absolutely not.
Well, yeah, I ain't doing
that. And a lot of those good trees like this that's what they look like. This one back in here wouldn't be too bad, but the higher up you go, it gets looser.
Yeah, you just have to be picky in here.
This one right here actually isn't too bad.
The one right here, it's like
yeah.
Should say during this season, so I'm gonna jump off.
That one right over here would be perfect, so it's not as thick as you'd like it to be.
I'm liking how the woods transitioned into here from that cornfield in here. We were walking through some really thick stuff about 20-30 minutes ago where you couldn't get in. Oh my gosh, we were fighting just to go 5 yards. I mean, there was some deer trails in there, but I mean, this I think is where we need to be.
Does this land taper off towards this direction?
Yeah,
Okay.
this goes. Yeah, you can see back. It goes back this way, back to your left. This is a little chunk of game land set, and you got a bunch of ag fields around, which makes it nice is that they planted corn out here too. And then we came back in here, and there's a ton of white oaks in this flat. It's actually more open than what we thought it was going to be. And like I said, the deeper we go back, we might see some trails coming to and from the other ag fields or whatnot. Might run into a bedding area, we don't know. So we're going to have to head on back through these woods here and see if we can't find some good trees to hang in. Or all right, let's see how this goes.
That worked.
Yeah, it didn't.
Your shooting's gonna be out here.
Now where's your, that's
yeah, your shooting's gonna be out over here.
Your shooting's here?
Yeah.
Because of anything, you're catching them either coming from the field through this or
Whenever
going to it.
this stuff falls off, you might have something, if you're up high enough, you might have something out in here where Dawson is, maybe a little behind him, but this side over here, that's close.
And this is the thing with you gotta look at the saddle stuff, not necessarily your tree stand stuff. With the saddle stuff, your dominant side, of course, is going to be a little bit easier for you. So if I'm hanging here off a rope and whatnot, first thing, I've got my bow here, I can pick up off the hook, and I've got all this. Now I can still shoot this back here, but like we talked about in the last video with Dawson, we went ahead and you can turn, whether you use a platform or steps, and turn and go down this way as well.
But again, you want to plan for where you're gonna.
Right. Yeah. Ultimately, strong hand's going to be the quickest shot. But so, where's your trail? Like right here. Let's look.
There's the same right behind me here.
Okay. So right behind you is your trail. I still would like to be blocked a little bit. So I'm probably going to work this way, because at the top I can put a step on the back side on this right side over here, because I can step around if I see something, just to see if it comes my way before I'm ready to grab my bow. So your first step, I'll just throw 2 steps up just for kicks. You take your first step out. And I'm going to take it place it right here. Okay, that's my first step. So this ultimately is going to be your trail, but as you're getting back up, if you notice as you get higher, you start seeing trails going this way, further off to this side. I can work these steps around almost like a staircase, which is super cool. You could do that with sticks as well, because this is a nice solid straight tree. So you go up first three or four steps, you get up 5-6 feet. You say, okay, now I'm seeing trails this way a little further. I'll take those steps or those sticks and I'll put that on the backside. So as soon as I start hitting those branches, I mean, you got more cover as you go up higher, but you know how perception changes once you get up the climb height.
And I see he gets up on a flat, and I can see out there about another 60, 70 yards. 60 yards probably.
It's pretty open.
It's what?
It's pretty open.
Good or bad?
Good, because I mean, you run into spots like this where it's wide, and then you narrow out as you go another 20, 30 yards, and it opens back up again. You like having patches like that, because those would be the spots, especially in archery season, that you're going to want to hang out in. Give yourself a little bit more shooting. This one right here is definitely nice though. I don't know if this was something from like runoff years and years ago or what, but it's nice and open. There's a couple trees the whole way through it. This one's
what about the
nice.
one right beside you here?
This one's nice too, because you can actually see everything coming this way. You want your back to the field and see if they're coming or going. Actually, that would depend. If you wanted to know which way you wanted to set up in here, having a camera would be your best option. Have one facing over towards the field, one somewhere out in here, and seeing if they're coming or going, and which has the heavier traffic.
So whichever side so what you're saying is whichever side has the heavier traffic, you would want your back to?
Whatever. No, you want to be facing that. So if they're coming from over here somewhere, this direction, I'd rather have my back towards the field.
So you can see them coming, and you can get ready
from a distance. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's always nice to set up near a field, because then you can obviously see so much more. Now with this corn up right now, it wouldn't even matter. You won't be able to see a heck of a lot, but whenever it dies off, whenever they cut it down, whatever they're going to do with it, then you'll know. That's when you'll start seeing a lot more signs. Whenever they start chopping that down, you'll see a lot more activity here than you will just now when it's just starting to come up.
Right. It's
not really. It's right now at this time in July. This is when it's starting to. They'll really start to hike up, as long as you get the appropriate amount of rain and all that kind of stuff. And then here, beginning of August is when they'll start taking it down, and then you'll see some more activity. There's a pile of trees right here. He's walking to the right. Right there, you see her? That's a buck. That's a buck. It's got horns.
Stop.
Stop. It sees us. It sees us. I got him. He stopped again. There he is. There he is. Well, as we came in from that upper field there, I caught something out of the corner of my eye. I saw a nice little, probably roughly a 5-point. Tell it was definitely a young deer, still in velvet. Not the body wasn't huge, but they're not really that big this time of year anyways. And we stopped for a little bit, let him run, and he ended up going back basically towards the turnpike there. So we came down below him. We're gonna try to make a big circle and follow basically on the other, just behind me right here is the start of private property. So we're gonna follow this the whole way around and get outside and cut back in across the middle here, come back out towards the road, see if we can either jump him again, jump another deer, and hopefully find some more sign, because even though we did see the deer, we're still not seeing the sign that we hoped for. But when you see deer, that's enough sign for me. All right guys, so we just finished up our walk through this little section here. Unfortunately, at least for me anyways, I didn't see the sign that we were hoping for. We caught that nice little buck on camera. So I mean, at least we saw something. The big thing for me, there wasn't a whole lot of sign. You're butted up right next against some private property, which is most likely where all the deer are coming from. Best time to catch them. You can't really tell unless you have a camera out, but there's no doubt in my mind they're most likely just using this part as just a traveling route. They're not staying here for any extended period of time. There's a lot of food to eat out here. The sign was just not there. So I mean, not to say that that won't change. Once the season starts picking up, you get people moving in different places. Deer are going to be changing their patterns. This could be something to check out later on, but as of right now, I would have liked to seen some more, but at least seeing a deer, that's good enough sign for me for at least one day. But what do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, I agree, but I mean, downfall is seeing those two stands, but in the end, you don't know when they're hunting or what season they are. We all agree that one is archery and one is a rifle stand, but it could be that guy's his private stands, he's just hunting on public. So in the end, you don't know, but you got to take a risk and go out there and sit. You know, if you see someone move, you know, it's public land for a reason.
Yeah, that's what it is. You don't know if you're going to come up on somebody or you end up hunting and somebody comes up on you. I like what Jesse said. It's like there was good food source. It was a good woods. I liked it. It was nice and open. It looked like there should have been stuff there. Acorns on the ground,
Yeah.
Tons of white oaks. But again, other than seeing that buck on camera, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of sign. There wasn't any really definitive trails.
Old
Didn't see many rubs. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the first set of woods that we actually walked through in the beginning?
You want to be honest, they sucked.
I will agree to that.
It's trial and error, though. That's the thing about public. You actually have to get out and dig yourself deep in the woods, you know. The first part wasn't what we liked, so we, you know, walked some more and found woods that we thought were better, but no sign. You know, that's the thing about public. It's trial and error.
That's the part of scouting. You get out there, you see what the woods like, so that you can get a game plan for the fall, so that you don't end up walking into a situation like that, going to hunting in the morning and realize, well, crap, I can't really get in there. I can't set up, and now you just basically screwed your morning. So that's what we're basically trying to get out here and, you know, do these scouting videos and kind of share them with you people, so that, you know, you get out and scout, do a little homework. It goes a long way. So hopefully it does for us, and hopefully we can show that to you guys back at home.